Good. Hey, we're here. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think we're living. I'm John Gray.
It's good to see you.
And the beautiful
John.
Miss Peggy Burton. Now look at that hair.
Oh,
Can
my
you
gosh.
imagine anything being more gorgeous than that? What a good-looking girl you
It took so
are.
many years to grow that hair.
If you want to know about the pecking order, usually you go around a barn and there's a chicken house and there's a pecking order, and usually some big rooster's in charge.
Right.
But on the inside, there's a hen that's the rooster of that bunch.
Oh, yeah.
And this is my rooster right here, Miss Peggy Burton. I just love it. I
It
love
has been so many years. I thought the Veterans event yesterday was fabulous.
It was
by the
very
way.
good, very, very good,
was
and
well
we
done.
have several things we're gonna put on the show today from that, and it was an outstanding event that our city puts on.
I was impressed because it was so well attended.
Well, last year, and it's usually packed house, and last year it was only about 2/3 full, and I think some of that was because of COVID hangover and
Possibly.
other things,
Could not have been done on a more beautiful day.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And I'm so appreciative of all the people that were involved.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that it was students all the way down to real young students when they did the flag thing.
Oh, yes.
I love that.
Yes. That was a Boy
Involved-
Scout troop.
And that was well done. I wanted to go turn the lights down so we could see the things on the wall that implemented what they were doing.
Yeah.
But
I didn't see
I don't
anything.
know how to turn the lights.
I was, we
used
usually
to-
have chairs
yeah.
on the stage,
It
and
was
Lyle
done
didn't want to
differently.
do that. He's a minimalist like you.
right.
And
well, I liked
we
what
sat
it was
out
clean.
front, and I had a little trouble getting up there. Getting up there was fine, but usually when I stand in my situation right now, while I'm building my muscle back enough to
It's hard.
support me,
Right.
after I stand about 10 minutes,
Then you're okay.
I can't walk anymore. My legs are asleep. But hey, look at that close-up shot. Now, this is a shirt that my wife gave me, and I love this shirt. It's a Southwestern shirt, and I thought I'm gonna wear that because it's fall and it's kind of warm. It's a little cool outside this morning. I thought there's no way in the world I'll find a tie
And
to
there
match
it was.
that. Put that close up back on. CJ, look at that. Isn't that something? I looked in my box,
And there
my
it was.
secret tie box, and there she was. Isn't
Love
that
it.
something?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Thank you. Appreciate
It's
it.
very nice.
We got a lot going on. It's I hope that you remember that there is a holiday on the calendar in the United States of America, and it's named Thanksgiving.
And it comes before Christmas.
And it comes before Christmas, and it sort of gets forgotten in a way to me. But all of the businesses, they got Halloween. As soon as that's over with, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas. And I refuse to decorate for Christmas until after Thanksgiving, because that's one of my favorite times when families get together and spend a lot of time together. And there's a lot of your family will drop in. Well, when yours come, they're from far away, so they usually spend a little time. But your family drops in and they got things to do and they're gone. But on Thanksgiving Day, it seems like everybody hangs around.
People like to come home, I think, on
They
Thanksgiving.
like to come home and they like to eat good.
It has
And there's
changed.
usually good food
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving Day.
It's changed a lot in my life because when I was very young and maybe before college, and that people would always have way too much to eat, and it was great.
Go
I
to
loved
sleep.
It. I loved
Take
it.
that
Right.
Thanksgiving nap.
And then I got married and left the country, and we often would have Thanksgiving or Christmas before the younger troops, because Ralph was older, before the younger troops were going to be deployed somewhere, especially during Vietnam.
Right.
We might throw throw in a Christmas dinner like the first week of December
Or whenever.
whenever. And anyway, things change, but I like the idea where people will come and sit a while and talk and not be on their phone. That's
Yeah,
kinda nice.
and we have a Duke's mix. You know, we sort of adopt people for Thanksgiving. When Tom and Sue Corrington moved to town, they started attending our church, and they came in here from California, and so they lived up the street from us, and so they became
They became family.
They became family, and they came for Thanksgiving, and Ronnie Gerald, and different ones that come back to town who don't have a whole lot of family, you know. And we'd get over and we'd play board games
Sure.
and cards and laugh and lie.
And families doesn't have to be blood kin.
No, heavens no.
That's-
And we'd end up watching some kind of movie about 10 o'clock at night that night. Some of them would just sleep in the floor.
Right.
You know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have family and friends around, and because we all have so much to be thankful for.
Do you cook Thanksgiving dinner? Or do you go-
I usually, you know, people bring, and I usually cook a ham.
Yeah.
The way my mom used to cook it, spiked with that
Cloves.
spice, cloves, and then rounds of pineapple on top and brown sugar
Yeah, that-
coated.
That was a,
and put it in there. And then the thing about it is, it's great, is I don't buy one of those cooked hams, but I do get my ham sliced.
like the spiral ham.
Yeah, like a spiral ham. And then what's good about that is when you get past the slices, down at the end there's a butt about this big, and I always save that, and I make
Throw it in some
ham
potato
soup. I
bag?
make ham soup.
Oh, you make ham soup.
Yeah, for New Year's. And
What do you put in ham soup?
in ham soup,
Yeah.
I put ham. I put
Potatoes?
no potatoes. You got ham.
I didn't know about
You've
that.
got
never had
pinto beans. You've got corn.
Okay.
You've got green beans.
So it's a very healthy thing.
Oh yeah, and I take that all of that drippings off of that ham, that sweet sugar and everything, and make a roux to start off with, and put that in my big pot, and then I start heating stuff up and putting the different things in
Sounds
and
good.
stirring it in, and I love to cook that.
And you can eat on that for several
We
days.
eat on it. I got a big old pot about this big. I make a pot about that big. That it's probably 2 gallons at least.
It's just so hard when you have to go off of salt and off of sugar and all that stuff.
Well, you know
miss a
what?
lot.
You know what? I don't care if you're off salt and sugar. There's times you need to eat something good, and if that's what's in it, to hell with it. You know, you go all through the year not eating salt, not eating sugar. Why not eat something good once or twice a year? I mean, my Lord. You know,
Yeah.
I always have taken it that your body tells you what you need. If you eat something and it tastes so good and it might be just something regular, like beans, green beans or something, and they taste so good you don't get enough, it's because your body's calling for it.
Probably. But then there comes a Italian cream cake.
Huh?
Then you put out the Italian cream cake.
So eat a
And
piece of it.
Right, but one's
It's
never
not like you're gonna-
one is never enough.
It don't make any difference. It's Thanksgiving. You know, it's not like you're going to do that all year long.
Right.
I don't eat ice cream, but that time of year, if there's ice cream that goes on a piece of pie,
You're gonna
I'm
eat
going to
it,
eat it
yeah.
because I don't eat it all the time.
Anyway, Thanksgiving is a beautiful
Yes,
time.
it is.
And I hope that
And it's
people
coming.
remember it.
It's coming.
And almost before we know it,
Yes, ma'am.
it's just around
Well,
the corner.
it's what's today, the 12th?
At
It's
least.
about 2 weeks away,
Yeah,
3
it's
weeks
at least
away.
the 12th.
So get ready. I guarantee you need to go to the store, get your ham or whatever you're going to get, because, you know, they might run out,
Yeah, they might.
but probably not.
Somehow I was just thinking that the election is over,
Yes,
and I'm kind of glad.
kind of
I was
glad.
getting worn out with it.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that all those old nasty hate mongering commercials are gone.
I know.
Both sides, you know. And most of the time, those kind of commercials aren't approved, or the candidate knows nothing about them.
Right.
It's PAC groups that are doing that, and they pick the nastiest stuff they can find because that a candidate would never put in their ad because they don't want to be looking like that.
Right. I just, there's one thing that I would like to see in years to come for candidates to not bash each other all the time, you know.
Well,
Just
that's
stay-
the world we live
Oops. Sorry.
in. There goes
Anyway,
your microphone.
I hope it didn't go out.
It's still there.
Still there.
Still
Okay.
there. So no, I mean it needs to be better, but until all of society changes, it's not the candidate's fault.
Well, right. I just
Most of
I
that
hope-
bad stuff they say, they say that somewhere in a private conversation, and somebody gets a video of it, and then somebody
Spreads it all over the
a
world.
PAC group puts it on an ad.
I think I'd just like to see it more peaceful.
Well, and I hope and I think we will have a peaceful transition
I think so.
this time. So
I think so.
I hope so. But a couple of things. I've used these before, but they're important to me. This is one I wrote for a friend whose father had passed away, but it stands strong for a Veterans Day piece as well. The question's been asked many times, who's going to keep the flag high, up in the wind like our heroes did, to follow as we watched it fly? They pass along in the midst of the song. Someone must finish the rhythm and rhyme. The lessons they taught, the battles they fought, have fitted you for the shoes left behind. Wearing the shoes left behind, being a torch in the night, how can you ever measure up and match the blazing light that their legacy left for you to see, knowing that you would find in the memories all that you would need to wear the shoes left behind? At times they loom so large, sometimes the pressure's squeezed tight, but the more you walk the road they trod, the more the fit feels right. As hard as it seems, follow your dreams. You're one of a kind. Embrace the morn, because you were born to wear the shoes left behind. Wearing the shoes left behind, being a torch in the night, how can you ever measure up and match the blazing light that their legacy left for you to see, knowing that you would find the memories, all that you need to wear the shoes left behind? Embrace this morn, because you were born to wear the shoes left behind.
That's nice, John. I always wondered if I could ever fit in my mother or father's shoes.
Well, you know, who's going to fill their shoes? One of those country songs.
Right.
St. George Jones did
Yeah.
it. You know, who's going to stand that tall?
And I thought about that during the veterans that would have been nice during the veterans program.
Well,
because,
they were tight for time. I want, and we're going to play a song that Curtis Heiss wrote in one of the
Good.
Wounded Warrior camps, and he sang yesterday, "You Don't Have to Be Strong Anymore," and it's absolutely beautiful. He got a standing ovation
yeah,
from
it
the whole
was
place.
really well done.
And Curtis is a wonderful man. He's a Marine, and he's in a lot of stuff at South Jackson. Very talented. His family's very talented, but he is very humble.
He is. He's a wonderful
And
young man.
with everything that he does and everything that he has. So I'll be very proud to do that. Here's a piece I wrote for Wounded Warriors. A young warrior stands in an ill wind. The battle still rages on without him. A leader of men, both tall and strong, now fights with the moment where dreams are gone. A chill determination still shines in his eyes, but the enemy no longer fears his battle cries. His heart and his will still scream out for more, but the legs that he stands on can't take him to war. His comrades in combat still march glory bound as he fights with the feeling that he let them down. But there's strength in the fact that they still hold his dreams and find courage and find inspiration each time he screams. The young warrior stands in an ill wind and dreams of the day when he fights again. The enemy will change, he must wait and see. But no matter the battle, a warrior he'll be. Yes, the enemy changes. That's life's way, you see. But no matter the battle, a warrior he'll be.
That's nice.
So,
Very nice.
to our veterans out there and to our wounded warriors, we love
Thank you.
you. We praise your service. Without you, we could not have the freedom that we have to play dirty commercials or good ones, or sit here and read pieces like this in front of you without fear. With that said, we'll be back with a really good show today, so don't go away after this commercial break.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
People in Tennessee are starting a movement.
Ouch. Thank you.
To clean up the litter on our roadways. Litter hurts our environment and endangers wildlife, and it affects our quality of life.
Here, grab me. Thank you.
Help keep our state litter-free.
Let's roll!
Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and be a part of the solution to end littering.
Saving the best for last.
That's right! Nobody trashes Tennessee!
Y'all are lucky.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have several segments from Veterans Day on the show today. And what we'll start off with is Mayor Lynn Seaborn and his introduction.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lyle Russell. I'm going to be your narrator for today's event. And it is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the City of Tullahoma to our 2024 Veterans Day observance. So to begin our program at this time, I would like to invite to the stage Tullahoma Mayor Lynn Seaborn for our opening remarks.
Good morning. Welcome to our Veterans Day observance.
the Armed Forces of the United States of America. For our veterans present, the citizens of Tullahoma thank you for your service and dedication. It's fitting that we thank you for your service, but our gratitude as citizens should go beyond mere thank yous. We owe every soldier, sailor, Marine, Coast Guardman, Airman, and Guardian our support. It should be our goal as Americans that our fighting sons and daughters are the best trained, the best equipped, and the best led forces in the world, and that they receive the welcome and support they deserve when they come home. The city of Tullahoma has a long history of support for our military, from training young soldiers in World War II at Camp Forrest to providing the best air power in the world through the test and evaluation of Arnold Engineering Development Complex. We are proud of the role we have played in your support, and we look forward to continuing that support into the future. It's been my honor to work alongside many veterans in my time here in Tullahoma, both at AEDC and in public and civic organizations. Tullahoma is lucky to have so many veterans active in our city. You bring your skills, your discipline, and your leadership to every part of our community, and we are better for it. Today we will hear from 3 such veterans in our program: Colonel Pat Egan, United States Air Force retired; Colonel Jim Jolliffe, United States Air Force retired; and Colonel Brent Mizell, Commander of the Arnold Engineering Development Complex. And I look forward to hearing their comments. It was my pleasure Saturday evening to attend the Tullahoma High School Marine ROTC banquet in celebration of the 249th birthday of the Marine Corps. Occasionally you will hear people disparage the youth of today, that they are unmotivated or unengaged with our society. They have not witnessed what I witnessed Saturday evening. Young people engaged in their training, serving with respect and eager for the future. You will see this for yourself in just a few moments as the THS Marine Corps ROTC Wildcat Battalion Honor Guard presents the colors. Thank you for your attendance today. May God bless our veterans, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Mayor Seaborn. Now I'd like to ask to please rise, if you're able, for the marching on of the colors by the Tullahoma High School Marine Corps JROTC. And please remain standing for the national anthem performed by the Tullahoma High School Brass Ensemble, led by band directors Justin Scott, Lisa Burton, and Jonathan Johnson. Please again remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance after that, and the explanation of the POW-MIA chair, led by American Legion Post 43 Commander Marcus Walden.
My name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hey Tennessee, Ross Chastain here, the guy who likes to smash watermelons on the front stretch at Nashville Superspeedway. But you know what I never smash? Safety rules. Racing's all about control, and the same goes for life on the road. So use your melon and don't mix drinking and driving. It's like trying to race with a busted engine. Be a pit crew hero, and if you've had a few, pass the keys to a sober friend, because we're all racing toward a safer Tennessee, and we want you there at the finish line.
Welcome back. I'm so impressed today to have on the show with me Miss Charlotte Ponder. Hey, how are you doing, Charlotte?
I'm good.
She's a senior at Tullahoma High School, and she plays the saxophone, you might notice. It's beautiful, by the way. What kind of saxophone is that?
It's a Yamaha.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks brand new every time I
It's pretty brand new, yeah.
I know you're proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been playing the saxophone?
Ever since middle school. So
Middle
like
school.
6-7 years. Mm-hmm.
And you just right away latched on to the saxophone?
Mm-hmm. Right away.
It's an alto, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you play really very well because I've heard you before. We are here to advertise the Young Musician Showcase. It's happening at South Jackson Civic Center on the 24th of November. And so it's a matinee in the afternoon, and I have asked Charlotte to come and play the piece that she's going to play on the showcase. It all has to be classical, and all this impresses me because I love classical music. What song are you playing?
It's Sonata by Paul Creston.
Sonata.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, it probably has several pieces. Several parts.
Mm-hmm.
How many parts are you playing?
I'm only playing one movement.
Okay.
It's a pretty long movement.
So one pretty long movement,
Mm-hmm.
and that's great. So I'm going to let you go ahead and get ready to play.
Okay.
And we'll be, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the fact that the showcase will be at 2:30 in the afternoon on the 24th. And go ahead, we're ready for you.
Okay.
wow. Okay. That was faster than I expected. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I'd like people to know how long you have practiced on that to learn it.
Oh gosh, this is a piece I played last year, so this took me a while. It took me a while because it was like one of my first like really struggling
Serious.
pieces. Yeah.
With all the little bits and pieces that are hard and difficult. The fingering, I could tell is huge.
Yeah, you can like hear all the.
And for people that don't know about the saxophone, show them a little bit of what's going on. You're putting like a piano. We all can see that it has white and black keys. Well,
yeah. These are you just put your hands on these little buttons here. There's side keys and pinky keys.
So you have to memorize all that by touch and feel and get the right pitches.
Yeah.
Well, that was beautiful. I do know that there's going to be lots and lots of great music. We have piano players, saxophones, and I wanted to read all these that were going to be on the program, but I honestly can't read it without blowing it up. So anyway, I'm excited about this. We have done this, I believe this is our 11th year. And how long have you studied with Tom Maurer?
Ever since my freshman year, so about 4 years.
About 4 years. He's a wonderful teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention the fact that he's so talented. I just love hearing him play.
Yeah, me too, me too.
He plays tenor, plays alto, and probably soprano, and every sax. Have you ever tried to play a soprano sax?
Yeah, I have one.
Do you have one? I love that little instrument.
Me too.
I know, it's so different, and it's an unusual type of instrument. And I think we're kind of short on time today, so we're going to wrap this up. And Charlotte, I'm so glad you came. And I'm looking forward to the concert on November 24th, 2:30 in the afternoon. The tickets are only $10. You can get them at the door. You can call South Jackson Civic Center and get one in advance. Maybe at the door they're $12. But anyway, it's going to be a great experience, not only for us as adults that are watching, but for these young people that are going to showcase what they can do. Thank you so much for coming. We loved it. We'll be back.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Senior Living. Active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back to Veterans Day right now. We have a new commander out at Arnold Center, Colonel Mizell, and he was there yesterday, a very impressive young man. And he is going to give you some information about the center that, you wouldn't know otherwise. He's very, very bright, and the center is in control of a whole lot of stuff other than what's here. It's over several bases, and you'll understand after you hear his speech. I want to also tell you that if you want to see the entire Veterans Day celebration, it is all in its entirety on our Facebook channel and on our YouTube channel. So you can go to the link, Channel 6, or Channel 6, the link, either one, and find that YouTube channel. And it also has everything we do, every show we do, the football games, the Christmas parades. From years past, you can go and just spend all day looking at us if you wish. But that's where the Veterans Day celebration you can find anytime you want to watch it. So with that said, here's Colonel Mizell.
First of all, it just makes my heart swell to be able to join the incredible talented people who were up here on stage earlier, from Colonel Egan, Colonel Jolliffe, Mr. Heiss. That was absolutely incredible. Thank you very much for doing that for us. And then of course, the young men and women we have here today from Tullahoma High School. It's just great to see you out here. Thanks for supporting. When many other people get a day off, you're out here doing service to your country. And of course, I want to make special comment for the young men who are down here in uniform, just starting their service. And I do have to comment on, man, those are some good-looking young people right there. And those good-looking uniforms. I'm a little bit jealous that the Marines get the good-looking uniforms. But speaking of uniforms, I'm honored to be here today looking at this incredibly distinguished crowd. Looking at the people and recognizing those who have come before in wearing the uniform of the United States military. There's nothing especially unique about uniforms, although I think the Space Force would beg to differ with me now. The uniforms change frequently as we go through the years, as we go through generations. The service dress I wear today is not the same service dress that many of you wore. And I recognize that one day I will take off this uniform, and it will change. And there will be some generation ahead of me that will take that choice to wear the uniform. And many of you in this room, you wore the uniform, and that choice may not have been yours, or yours alone. And while the uniform might not be unique, what this uniform represents is absolutely unique. The character and the values that we share with veterans from all eras and all services is something that can never be taken off. As a young cadet more than a quarter of a century ago, I was taught the Air Force core values. Service before self, integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Other branches have variations on their core values, but those are my branches, core values. When I look at the eyes of all the veterans in this room, each of you here today, I see those exact core values reflected right back at me. Our collective values are what have defended our nation from enemies foreign and domestic for more than 2 centuries. Not a very long time in the eyes of our allies and of our foes. It's those core values that I learned long before joining the military, because they were internalized in my father and my grandfather, 2 men who served their country in the Navy during Vietnam and the Army Air Corps during World War II. These 2 men answered the nation's call during wartime, but then returned home from faraway lands to start a family, build a business, invest in a community. Even when the uniform is put away, when it's moved to the back of the closet, when it's folded in a footlocker, dedicated to the ages, the values follow the veteran, from service life to civilian life. It's those values that drive us to continue searching for those who have not yet come home. It's those values that we teach our children and their children, which define who we are as a community and as a nation. Further, the military's core values convey to our civil servants, our contractors, and the community that serves the base. While today we express gratitude to those who have worn a uniform in the service of their country, I also want to thank those that have served our military, no matter what they were wearing while they did so. I ask you to not lose sight of these values. The values that each of you bring to those who love you, to those who see you daily: integrity, service, excellence. Know that there's a community of brothers and sisters in arms who stand with you. The weight you've taken on your shoulders, the weight of preserving freedom for future generations, is a heavy load to bear, and often doesn't feel lifted after that uniform comes off. After service, we still connect with our comrades who served, and we lean on them. And if needed, there are professionals within the Department of Veterans Affairs who can help. Our local Veterans of Foreign Wars and American Legion have members who you can lean on. That load need not be bared alone. There's a saying at Arnold Air Force Base: we stand on the shoulders of giants. Typically, we're referring to the scientists, engineers, and craft people who have worked there. But do not forget that is an Air Force base. It is your Air Force base. The shoulders we stand on include every veteran who has sworn to support and defend and bear truth and faith and allegiance to the United States Constitution. Without their sacrifices and the sacrifices of their families, our world would not be the same. I want to thank this community for supporting our veterans with programs like this one today and the ones we put on every day. Today, we still have members in harm's way: soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians, and Coast Guardsmen serving today will all, God willing, come home. When they do, we have a solemn duty to support them. And if they don't come home, we have a solemn duty to remember them, remember their sacrifice, and support their families, those they've left behind. Yesterday, the Daughters of the American Revolution dedicated a grave to Private Sanford Berry, a militiaman from the earliest days of our country, who settled and ultimately died in the Tullahoma area. So many veterans have gone before us. We are duty-bound not to forget their service, individually if possible, but certainly collectively. Veterans, when someone thanks you for your service, often we don't know what to say. I know some of us shy away from those moments. Veterans, I urge you to embrace those moments of recognition. Whether you processed pay records in peacetime or bear the scars of shrapnel from wartime, you earned the thanks because you did your part to support and defend our country. You reflected our core values. And I'm confident you still do today. I see it in your eyes and in your actions. Colonel Jolliffe, thank you for suggesting ways we can serve, and we continue to serve in our community. I am honored to serve for this community alongside each of you and build on the legacy that you set before us. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rigman.
And this is Pat Welch and John. We are here today for segment 69 of the Conversation with John and Pat.
Traveling right on.
I mean.
This is an old song I like to play for you. Makes me love everybody, makes me love everybody, makes me love everybody. It's good enough for me, so give me that old-time legend, give me that old-time legend, give me that old-time legend. It's good enough for me. It was good for the Hebrew children. It was good for the Hebrew children. It was good for the Hebrew children. It's good enough for me. So give me that old-time legend. Give me that old-time legend. Give me that old-time legend. It's good enough for me. It was good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas. It was good for Paul and Silas. It's good enough for me. So give me that old-time legend, give me that old-time legend, give me that old-time legend. It's good enough for me. Give me that old-time legend, give me that old-time legend, give me that old-time legend. It's good enough for me and you.
All right, John.
Thank you.
One with a little bit of something to hang on to there.
Yes, sir.
Good for you.
What are we talking about today, Pat?
Well, we thought we'd go back a little bit and check out some of Tullahoma's better teams.
Some of the annals of history.
Yeah, and we'll call this maybe modern history. We'll go past 2 teams, and we're going to go in one today after Coach Cooper's time in Tullahoma. And the first really good team after that, he retired after the 66 season, was the 79 season, and it was coached by Dan Bland, who'd been brought as a really young assistant from Jackson, I believe, to Tullahoma. And he got the job because somebody backed out that had told everybody Murfreesboro he wasn't coming to Tullahoma, but we failed to find out till after he'd gone to North Carolina. But and Dan had really, I guess, harder times. Initially, when we first got here, he went 1-9 back-to-back, and then he was 5-5 and really started getting the thing turned over. And Tullahoma was not the easiest place to win at, and you got to really decide what you're going to do and really be organized and really be devoted to the style of play you're going to play. And Dan was a in the trenches, slug it out guy, and one of his assistants, Ben Boswell, was with him, and they had a tremendous off-season program for about 2 or 3 years, and a whole lot of their competition to toughen them up and to make them competitive in the off-season program today would probably get a man in jail, but they were really a really close team too, because all the suffering that they went through really bound them together.
Didn't they call them the Hogs before
he started calling Ben started calling them the Hogs, and then the whole team became the Hogs after a while. And sometime Mr. Hollenshed was the announcer at the time, and when they'd come on the field about halfway through the year, instead of saying "Here come the Wildcats," he said "Here come the Hogs." And some took to that and some didn't. But nevertheless, they were really stout. They made it, I believe they were 8-2, lost 2 games each by 1 point, and made it to the quarterfinals, which would be in the state of Tennessee, the 3rd game of the playoffs, and were beaten by Oak Ridge. That was the best team in the state by far. But the first round, they beat Riverdale 28-0, and Riverdale wasn't a whole lot different then than they are now. So they were really tough. Put up one of those pictures, Philip, if you don't mind. I've kidded John about his camera work. Mine is not much better, but I got into an annual at the administration building. This is from the 79-80 school year annual, and that guy running the ball there's Dave Johnson. And he is at Traders Bank, and a great guy from Tullahoma.
Yes,
and
good musician.
Good musician, yeah. And he was the fullback on that team. And I got one really good story on him. The first time I believe they played Riverdale in the regular season, I don't believe this was in that second game in the playoffs, but I believe the first time Tullahoma received the kickoff to start the second half, and they scored in the end zone that they were defending, which, if you can follow that, they kept the ball the entire third period, turned around, and 2 minutes into the fourth, they scored. So the thing about time
3 clouds and a dust.
It was 3 clouds, and I believe they went on 4th down 4 times in that drive.
Wow!
And gave it to Dave all 4 times. and whether it's legend or fact, supposedly a couple of linemen were letting the Riverdale guys know where we were running, where Dave was coming, and they still couldn't stop it. They were really hard-nosed. That team had. I should have brought my list. Mark Mullins was the quarterback from really involved with youth sports still, and Greg Smith, who's done a whole lot of coaching in middle school and Pop Warner leagues and so forth, the Mullins League. There were some really good players on that class, and they were really tight. You know, Andy Forster recently passed away, and he was a teammate and was on that team, and at his funeral there was a row of just all of them, you know, and my wife said, "Man, they're all back here," and I said, winning will make it close, but the preparation and the hard effort that went into it really made them close. One more quick story before we get the hook on the 79 team. One of the games they lost by point, I can't remember what happened at extra point, but they got beat by Lincoln County 7-6, and Lincoln County had a good team. And Tullahoma had the ball near midfield, and Mark Mullins was the quarterback, said, and he was shorter than a lot of them, and he was throwing to Trent Moore. J.C. Moore had 3 sons, all good athletes. Travis is the assistant principal at the high school now. But anyway, Mark was throwing they threw the ball about 3 times a game, whether they needed to or not. And he threw a touchdown to Trent on this play, I believe, but a Lincoln County linebacker who was really big was rushing at the time, and as he was in just his natural stance in a really athletic position, his head was about the same height as Mark's was he standing straight up, and if it was a college game today, he'd probably been called for targeting, and he didn't intend to hit Mark head to head, but he certainly did, and it knocked him out cold as a wedge. And but the ball, he was so tough, knowing that guy was a foot away from him and released the ball. He put it right on the money, and all the action, of course, down there by the goal line because it was a long pass. Well, the officials started to line up the extra point, and Mark's still laying on the ground at midfield, and Coach Bland threw his hand up and ran out to the field to be sure he was all right, And that was really, to me, was really indicative of how tough that team was.
A lot of courage.
Really, all of them. Yeah. And I know we've left out people that are played on that team that are still in Tullahoma and
deserve mentioning.
Yeah, and deserve mentioning. But that 79 team was really a special team. Now I guess that just about wraps up segment 69, and a great one it was, John.
Yes, sir, it was. That was a good bunch of guys.
It was a great bunch of guys, close to this day. Oh, I think we've got the signal. We got room for one more story. Mike Matthews was on that team, and Mike was one of the few people to run kickoffs back wearing a 50s number. He was a guard, but he was fast enough to run the kickoffs back. And we played one of the Clarksville schools, I think, in the opening game, and their 54 goes back to receive the kickoff, and I was told that one of their fans said, "Look at that, they've got a lineman run." They said, "There's no way this guy can do much with a lineman's number." Well, he ran that thing 98 yards, I think, for a touchdown, opening kickoff of the year, and Mike was awful good
Strong
player on that team.
And fast.
Yes, he was. All right, let's wrap that number 69 up, and we certainly hope, John, that we're back, because we've got plenty of stories to tell.
We're hoping to be back.
Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I told you earlier about Curtis Heiss, a Marine who wrote a song with in one of the Wounded Warrior conferences with a warrior or two, and it is titled "You Don't Have to Be Strong Anymore," and it brought the house down. Here's Curtis Heiss.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce United States Marine Corps veteran Curtis Heiss for an original musical performance titled "You Don't Have to Be Strong Anymore."
Colonel Ligon, I have my polo shirt with my emblem on it. It must be the uniform of the day. Thank you to the band and the choir who played earlier. I would be remiss in my fatherly duties if I didn't point out my teenage daughter over there, Allie. Before you start the music, Sid, I want to say just a thing about this song here. This is I wrote this a couple of years ago at a music therapy retreat for veterans who suffer trauma, and with an organization called Music Therapy Retreats. And so they pair you up with a songwriter and teach you a little bit about how you can use music as a therapeutic tool to deal with that trauma. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, you can go to musictherapyretreats.org. Go ahead, Sid.
Your battle
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
People in Tennessee are starting a movement.
Ouch. Thank you.
To clean up the litter on our roadways. Litter hurts our environment and endangers wildlife, and it affects our quality of life.
Here, grab me. Thank you.
Help keep our state litter-free.
Let's roll!
Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and be a part of the solution to end littering.
Saving the best for last.
That's right. Nobody trashes Tennessee.
All right, Fran Gray's here with Alzheimer's Tennessee. We're getting ready to purple out.
We are, John. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk again about the works of Alzheimer's Tennessee. Back in 1983, President Reagan declared that November would be the National Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Little did he know that he himself would be affected by dementia. At that time, there were fewer than 2 million Americans recorded as having some effect of Alzheimer's or another dementia. And now we have millions and millions in our country and across the world. And in Coffee County alone, there are over 830 families who are affected by some form of dementia. So we, along with the Tennessee Clerks of Court Association, are participating in an effort to raise awareness. And we were very excited that they adopted us several years ago. And many court clerks across Tennessee decorate their offices. They wear purple. I apologize for not having on my purple out shirt this morning.
But you've got on a Tullahoma Wildcat shirt. That's good
right.
enough.
That's a good one. We're Wildcats too.
There you go.
But anyway, we are celebrating Purple Out this Friday, November 15th. And I'm encouraging people to wear purple that day. Last night we were at the City Hall where Mayor Seaborn signed a proclamation making that an official day.
Wonderful.
And I had spoken with Robin Morrison, their wonderful, wonderful administrative assistant, about getting some purple lights on City Hall. And I was so delighted to see a canopy of purple lights. So if you go into the City Hall in the next few days, you will go under a canopy of purple lights.
Wonderful.
It's really
That's great.
pretty. Our Coffee County Courthouse is lit with purple light. And I'm just so thankful that these counties are and cities are willing to purple out. We just have to continue to keep this disease process in mind.
Now, I've heard you say last night at City Hall, I think if someone wants a purple light to put on their porch or something, you have them?
No, I don't have any purple lights.
Oh, okay.
But I was just encouraging people.
Oh, okay.
We know that different colors
represent certain things, yes.
Green and blue.
Yeah.
And I thought even if it's just for one day, a purple light on your front door, or in the past I've suggested if they still have their jack-o'-lanterns, they could spray paint it purple. I did that one year.
Yeah.
But seriously, there are so many people affected, and Alzheimer's Tennessee is here to help people who are, not only the families, but the person with a diagnosis. And we just encourage everyone to be in touch with us if they need some help, some information, by calling 931-434-2348. There it is. Thank you so much.
Or go right down the street here on Jackson Street to, what is it,
309 North Jackson.
Yeah.
And we do have several support groups running, and we are going to encourage people to be prepared as they can be for the holidays, because that affects a lot of people.
Right, sure does.
So I appreciate being able to come today.
You're welcome, always.
And I do encourage everybody to purple out on Friday, November 15th.
That's it. Thank you, Fran.
Thank
and we'll
you.
be right back after these messages.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the month to be jawing with Jackie.
I am intrigued by this photograph.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
I hope you can get it. I hope you can see it, because it's the most handsome man.
Push it down where. Well, never mind. You get it.
Okay. There you go. The reflection.
Yep.
Try to get the
Face it.
reflection
There you
down
go.
there.
Yeah, back.
That's better right
there.
there.
You go, right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have a name?
This is a family member. I've been trying to find the name of the lady that my cousin. She was my grandfather's first cousin. Her dad and my granddaddy were brothers, and she was Dora Thompson, and she lived here in Tullahoma, right over here, just a few blocks over, and she lived here for a long time in her old age, and I took care of her the last years of her life. You know, I was her legal guardian and everything, and so she was just a sweet person. and claimed everybody was cousin this and cousin that, and I found out that she was related to a lot of people, and I went back to the heritage part of it where I was looking, where Tommy Allen, Coach Tommy Allen from years ago here in town,
I
he was the
remember
coach.
Tommy.
Yeah,
I love Tommy. He was a good
Tommy
man.
had a class that did they did work at the old cemetery, cleaning up at the old Citizen Cemetery here in town, and right off the Manchester Highway over there. And they did work over there. And they did a book. They put a book together, and that was one of the best things I think could have ever happened. And I didn't know it at the time, but I found that the book, Tommy's son, might still have a copy, and I'm trying to find him now. I'm trying to locate him.
I know where he is.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that because I want to contact him. But he's and we've talked before. I just lost touch with him, but I had some books from that when Tommy was alive. Some of the books that they put out and they had printed, quite a few printed, and that was one of the best books I found that I could relate to. I could find my people in there.
You could find them all in there, and they were all listed. The names that were in that cemetery.
Yeah, that's right. And they found the names on those tombstones out there. It's been years ago, 30 years ago probably, I think. But anyway, they found the names on before that cemetery got kind of destroyed. It's not destroyed or anything, but a lot of the tombstones wound up destroyed and some other things over the years. But they've the city's maintained it pretty good since then. And bottom line, yeah. Let me see, I can set it down here. Anyway, yeah, they but I brought that old picture today to. You okay?
Yeah,
I got that old picture today just because of Memorial Day, and it brings back old memories.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, yeah, and that because we attended that event yesterday. You did a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So anyway, but we did. I used to participate in it every now and then when I was in city employed.
It changed. It changed this year from but change is good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, change is good. So anyway,
it was a nice ceremony.
But I used to get the opportunity to mention some names to honor some people that I have known that were, oh God, these were fantastic. My main man is still living, thank God, 105 years old, Tommy Gwynn.
Yeah,
right here in town.
Isn't that fabulous?
Oh, it's my buddy. Yeah, oh yeah. He's famous.
Yeah, we miss him. Rob Norman used to bring him to the veterans event.
Yeah. And I've seen a time when he had driven there himself. He used to drive I see him down to Kroger's. He'd be down there driving. I think he quit driving.
Yeah, he quit driving it all.
I believe he was at 100.
Well, this gentleman appears to be a veteran of some kind.
He was. He's a veteran of.
Handsome.
Yeah, and I think it was actually it was before World War I. I believe I think he identifies more with the Spanish American.
Spanish American. That's what I was trying to come up with.
He was a relative of mine, and I like to, especially at this time of year, to honor the people in my family that have served. My dad was Army. His next brother was Air Force, and his baby brother was the baddest. He was a bad dude. He was a Marine. So we had my granddaddy's kids. Yeah, had
wonderful.
And all of them came from right over here on Polk Street. Sure did. Sure did. And
it's amazing what happens on Polk Street.
That's right. There you go. There you go. And so anyway, but they over the years, of course, these guys they were part of the Great Migration that left here, and going a lot of places, after slavery and back during World War II or after World War II, and. My grandmother had a brother that served in World War I. I've got a good picture of him, great picture of him.
That's
this
awesome.
Guy, he's from McMinnville, and his dad was. I got a picture of his dad too. We identified over the years later in life. His dad was fathered by a slave master, and right up in McMinnville, and the connections are there, and they have a reunion every year. I haven't been to one in a few years, but COVID kind of shut down a lot of stuff. But bottom line is that this young man, I got a picture of him, and he served in World War I, and he was a victim of the first pandemic.
Oh, wow, the flu. In
the flu.
1919.
And so 1919, and but and my grandmother, she always said that was the worst year of her life. Her mother died. Her brother died in France. He was in France, and there was a lot of bad weather back then, and of course Spanish flu was prevalent, and but the weather was so bad, and they didn't have enough pup tents for all the soldiers, and his group got left out, and so they had to weather the cold and the rain and sleeping in it and everything. And he lasted, I think, about 2 weeks over there, he died.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's a shame. You go to war and then the weather kills you. You know, you don't.
Well, it's a shame to go to war without the supplies you need.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
There's been a whole lot of fighting done like that.
Oh, I agree. And you fight with what you got, but to have to go to war to fight against your brothers, mankind, and then go over there and then you wind up having to fight the elements and everything else.
That was horrible.
Plagues and everything else. It's just kind of like a no-win war. War just, hey, it's not productive. So I guess some people might say it.
Well, you have a lot to be proud of. You have so many people that have served the country and served mankind, and you're doing it today.
I do, and I carry on the best I can. I said I might not be in a war or anything, but it's a war every day we live. We got to
fight something.
You got to fight. You're right. We're fighting hunger. You're fighting injustice. We're fighting something every day. If you're good,
might be that
evil.
Be that one little mouse that gets in the house and you can't catch him.
There you go.
You see him.
I've seen that.
Off he goes.
Yeah, I know. And I saw something last night I didn't like. I'm trying to get rid of pests and all this. And I'll tell you what. Last night I did see. I was driving down Jackson Street, the far end of Jackson, down there, going toward Walmart area, and I saw a deer down there on Jackson Street.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I got him over in my yard a lot of times.
Right here?
Yeah.
There's deer. I saw a little baby deer bedded down in the grass out here one day.
Yeah.
Mama'd gone to get something to eat, and she'd bedded him down out there in the grass. It was needed mowing.
Yeah.
It was about that deep, and I went out there, and I thought, Lord, there's a baby deer sitting there. Middle of town.
Tell me about it. And I'm just right out of town. I'm right in town as well, but just a few blocks from downtown.
Well, yeah, but that street that street right there, that Manchester Highway, is full of traffic.
Oh, tell me about it. I know it. And right there off of the Manchester Highway, like I said, I'm right there, half a block off of it, and I got deer in my yard. I got deer that
you need to quit putting that food out.
No, I ain't putting no food out. Hey, there's a field over there.
We're not okay. There you go. We're getting ready to close the show right now, so.
So anyway, but I just wanted to do a shout out to some folks that I knew.
Yeah, there you go.
Herb Insel was a great man around here that had a business for years and years. Billy Bryant, Mr. Bryant was fought in.
We have a bunch of them.
We do. We have a lot.
Yesterday, the Tullahoma choir, the high school choir, was there, and we're going to close the show with their rendition of "America the Beautiful."
Amen.
And now, would you please help me welcome to the stage the Tullahoma High School Chamber Singers for a musical performance.